Hi, welcome to this online training course. My name is Jerry and I'm one of the co-founders of Accessible Surveys. This training course is designed for people who are new to Accessible Surveys, and it will accompany you to create a demo survey. This hands-on training exercise will familiarise you with all the key features offered by the platform, putting you in a great position to create your own surveys once you've completed the course. The training is divided into 5 sections. These mirror the process of creating, testing, sharing, and analysing the results of a survey. This first section shows you how to create a new survey and will take about 30 minutes to complete. Before starting this session, you should have downloaded the surveys questions from the training materials page. Let's begin. When you're signed in to your survey workspace, your screen will look like this. At the top of the page, you will see any surveys that you have starred. Below this, you will see a table listing all the surveys that you have created. Both sections will be empty for now. To create your first survey, select the Add New Survey button in the bottom right-hand corner. Name your survey Training Survey, and you can enter this in the description field as well, and press Next. You will then be invited to select a form to be used for your survey. You have the option to create a new form or select a form you have already created. Choose Create New Form and give it the name Training Form. You can use this in the description field as well. The platform will automatically create the first page of your form, and this can be edited later on. Select the Next button and confirm. The platform will now create the main elements of your survey. I will talk you through these briefly. The form editor is where you will add the questions that you want to ask. The survey editor controls all aspects of how your survey is shared. And the analytics field is where you can see live responses to your survey and export your survey data. In this training session, we're going to focus on the form editor. Click into it now. In the second column, you will see the structure of your form. Forms are made up of pages, sections, and questions. I will explain how these work. Pages allow you to group questions on a similar topic together, and respondents will scroll through the pages as they complete a survey. Sections are used as they provide survey builders with more flexibility than if questions were added directly to a page. For instance, logic can be applied to sections, and in the future it will be possible to share sections between different forms. Questions are self-explanatory. Let's rename my first page as Surveys. There is no need to give it a subtitle, but you can do so if you choose. Now, let's look at the first section. The name under designation is the internal name of the section. This won't be seen by respondents. Let's rename this Section 1. The title and subtitle under presentation will be seen by respondents. You can try entering a title and subtitle and see how it looks, but for now, let's leave it empty. We are now at the stage where we can start to add questions. There are several ways to add questions, but the easiest way of doing so is to select the Add Content button in the bottom right-hand corner. You will now see the different question types which are available in the right-hand column. There are various question types available. Firstly, there are text-based questions, with more options available when the expand arrow is selected. Then there is a range of choice-based questions. The media-based upload question gives respondents an option to upload a file. The free text field is not a question as such, but allows you to insert text into your form, which can be formatted in many ways. We're going to start by adding the first question from our training survey. This is a text-based question. So we're going to drag and drop a text question into the center of the form. The label is where we're going to put the question itself. This can be typed in or copied and pasted from the training materials. Check the box for a more accessible label variant. This will make sure that the text wraps properly on small screens. Helper text can be used to give some guidance or context for the question. We can leave this blank for now and select OK. Congratulations, you have added your first question. We can now remove the question which was added automatically. To do this, select the question in the tree structure, right-click and remove. To add the next question, activate the Add Content mode and select a radio group question. Radio group and drop-down questions allow respondents to select a single option, whereas the checkbox group allows respondents to select multiple options. Copy and paste the question label and helper text from the training materials and check the box to make the field required. Then select Options to add the options. These can also be copied and pasted from the training materials. To add another option, scroll down and select Add New Option. Type will allow you to switch the question type to another options-based question if you choose. We're going to leave this as a radio button question. We're now going to add the next two questions, both of which are text-based. We're going to use the long text question type, as this allows you to customize how the text box is presented to survey respondents. Again, put the question you want to ask in the label field and check the box for a more accessible label variant. We don't need to enter any helper text or make the field required. Under Layout, we can specify the number of rows we want to appear on the form. Let's say 8 and click OK. We're going to do the same thing for the next question. If it spits you out of the question, which it does do occasionally, if you go back and select the red cog icon, it will allow you to continue editing the question. You have now created your first page. To add a second page, right-click at the top of the tree structure. Right-click and add a page. You can move the page into the right position by collapsing the previous page and dragging it into the correct place. You can rename the new page Feedback. You now need to add a new section before you can start adding questions. This can be done by selecting the Add New Section button or by right-clicking on the page in the tree structure. Call the section Section 2 and select the Add Content mode to add a question. This time we're going to select the Ratings question and drag it into the middle of the page. Add the question label and helper text from the training materials. And remember to check the box for a more accessible label variant. The number of stars displayed to respondents can be varied, but let's stick with 5. We're now ready to test the form to see how it will appear to survey respondents. This can be done by selecting Test from the top menu. You will see the page structure of your survey on the left-hand side and the questions that you have created in the middle. You can edit the questions directly from here and can see how the helper text appears. There is a test ribbon at the top of the form, which is useful when testing the form. For instance, you can activate the comments field and leave comments beside specific questions. This is useful for collaborating on the content of your form with your team members. The View Form Data feature allows you to clear any data that you've entered into the form, so you have a blank form to test. Looking at the questions on page 1, the question, "What do you like about the survey tool you're using?" only really makes sense to be asked if the answer to the question, "I am satisfied with my current survey tool," is strongly agree or agree. Likewise, the question, "What frustrates you about the survey tool you're using?" only really makes sense to be asked if the answer to that same question is disagree or strongly disagree. This can be done by applying form logic. To apply form logic, go into the build mode. Logic is always applied to the form element which is affected by the logic. Logic can be applied at the page, section, or question level. In this instance, it is the question, "What do you like about the survey tool that you are using?" that we want to apply logic to. Once you have found the question in the tree structure, toggle on the advanced mode. A new logic icon appears in the bottom right-hand corner. Select this. You will now see a field where you can write a logical expression. Lock the question whilst editing the logic and expand the question you want to include in the logical expression. Logical expressions are mathematical expressions which evaluate a statement and return a result of either true or false. The form element is then displayed if the result is false and hidden if the result is true. Let's demonstrate how this works in practice. I want to test whether the answer to the question, "I am satisfied with my current survey tool," is either strongly agree or agree. We can now test the expression that we have written. We can see that if no answer is given, or if the answer is disagree, strongly disagree, or neither agree or disagree, the expression result is false and the field is displayed. However, if the answer is strongly agree or agree, the expression result is true, and so the field is hidden. This is a good start, but it's actually the exact opposite of what we want to happen. We can now use the exclamation symbol to invert the expression. I'm placing the exclamation symbol at the beginning of the expression, and then it's enclosing the whole expression within brackets. We can now retest the expression. The inverted expression now asks whether the answer to the question "I am satisfied with my current survey tool" does not equal strongly agree or agree. Therefore, the answer will be true and the field will be hidden in all circumstances except where either strongly agree or agree is selected. When strongly agree or agree is selected, the expression result will be false, and so the field will be displayed. We can test the form to see that the logic is working. We're now going to apply logic to the question what frustrates you about the survey tool that you're using, so that it only appears if the answer to the question "I'm satisfied with my current survey tool" is disagree or strongly disagree. We're going to follow the exact same process that we followed in the previous example. We're going to go to build, and then we're going to find the question that we want the logic to be applied to in the tree structure. In this case, it's what frustrates you about the survey tool that you're using. We are then going to lock the question whilst editing the logic. In this instance, we can't see the options to this question, so I'm just going to go onto the add contact mode and back to the logic mode to refresh the page. I'm now going to expand those options so that I can see them and I can include them in the logical expression. And I'm going to write the expression in exactly the same way as I did previously, but just with the different options. And I'm going to invert the expression as we did previously. And I'm going to test the expression to see that it's behaving as I want it to behave. Now, if we go back to test the form, we can see how the logic works together. So now I will clear the form data. So we're starting with a clear form, and neither follow-up question appears. It still doesn't appear if I select neither agree nor disagree. However, if I select strongly agree or agree, the question appears, what do you like about the survey tool you're using? And if I select disagree or strongly disagree, I have the question, what frustrates you about the survey tool that you're using? Writing logical expressions can take some time to master. However, the feature is extremely powerful and can be used to make the survey a much more enjoyable experience for your respondents to fill out. There are several guidance notes which will help you to write logical expressions. We're nearly at the end of this training session. We just need to cover publishing a form and giving your teammates access to your form. Whilst your form can be updated at any time and any changes that you make are saved in real time, it is important to have version control. This ensures that your form does not change whilst respondents are filling it out. Your changes only become visible to respondents when you publish a new version of your form. This can be done by going to the Deploy menu in the top and selecting Create and Publish a new version. The version label is an internal and won't be seen by survey respondents. The platform performs some checks on your form when a new version is created. To give a member of your team access to your form, go to the Build menu and select Access. You can only add members who already have an account on Accessible Surveys and have been added to your team by the account manager for your organisation. Congratulations, you've completed the first training session, and probably the session which is heaviest in terms of content. In the next session, I will show you how you can apply accessibility modes to your form.